Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to Twin
Twin
Talk
Talk.
with Margaret and Martha.
Martha.
Today, what we talking about?
We talking about love versus like. Because a lot of time people get those two mixed up and they're two completely different things. So, for me, love is a decision that we make, right? We make a choice to love somebody unconditionally. Like me, I could meet somebody today and tell them I love them. And people say, how you do that? Because they're a human being and I'm in the business of loving my neighbors. So I could love you without knowing who you are because I made a choice to love you. Now, when I learn more about you, I will decide if I like you or not.
Oh, that
So,
makes a lot of sense.
so you kind of give me what your take on like is.
For me, it's as simple as I'm pleased with what you're doing. I'm not pleased with what you're doing. Your actions at this time. So you're doing the right thing. I'm liking it, and I'll let you know. And to me, that's why it's so important to affirm our children. When they're doing something that is good that you like, affirm them. Let them know they're doing a great thing, and they already know that you love them. But when you affirm them, the thing about it is that I've learned in life is what you want to get out of somebody. That's what you focus on. So if when a child is doing right, you keep affirming them, affirming them, affirming them, affirming them. They get in your attention doing those things. So they're going to keep doing that. Now, it's important to let a child know that when they do something that is not right, it's important to correct them and let them know. And when my son was young, I never corrected him without first affirming him. So the first thing I would say is, um, Ruben, I like when you do blah 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 blah. However, this right here was not done the way it should be done, or what could you have done differently. When he was very young, I told him straight out what displeased me about those actions. Later on in life, I had him tell me how it could have been done differently, but I wanted him to know right from wrong, and in knowing right from wrong is letting him know what I like and what I didn't like. That when it comes to right from wrong, if that makes any
It
sense to
makes
you.
a lot of sense. Like me, I tell people and I tell my children, I love them to life. Um, and when they were growing up, I would stand in the gap if I had to stand in the gap and take a bullet for them. However, if you're doing something that I don't like, that's not becoming of you at this time, I'm not going to hesitate to say, I love you very much. However, right now, I'm not liking you because I don't like what you're doing. Um, you know better. I thought you better. And if you didn't know better, let me just let you know right now what you're doing right now, I do not like. And this is how you could do it better. And I think it's so important that we do that and let people know we love them unconditionally. And you don't have to like what they're doing. If you dislike what they're doing, doesn't mean that you don't love them. You still love them. But I think a lot of times people mistake love for like. So when you displeased with somebody with something that they're not doing that you dislike at this time, they think you don't love them. But if we don't take time to really teach our children what love looks like, they will always make that mistake and think and confuse love and like.
But again, too, it's because you love them, you're letting them know what you don't like,
And
so
you
that
have
you
to.
can, so you're setting a path for them, so that when they grow, they will stay on that path. Because if you don't let them know what you don't like, they will think it's okay, and they will keep doing it, and you'll be growing up monsters. So, in order to avoid creating a monster out of your child, you have to, like I said, whip them into shape in the sense of letting them know what is right, what is wrong, when you're doing something that is pleasing, when you're doing something that's not pleasing. And I tell my son all the time, um, you are my beloved son with whom I'm pleased. And I call him BSE, best son ever. He said, I'm your only son, but you're gonna be my only worst son ever. You understand? So we have to acknowledge our children in the good. We have to show them love regardless. and we have to redirect them when they're not doing what's right.
And sometimes we could do all that, and they still gonna be who they want to be when they grow up.
Yeah,
But they'll come back to where they need to be. But at the same time, I think it's so relevant to love our children and let them know when we not liking them in that moment. And like you say, affirm them when we like what they do.
Amen.
Because if the only affirmation they get is when we don't like them, that's what they're going to continue to do.
Exactly.
So thank you for joining us today. I hope you go out and love. If you don't have any children, go love your neighbor.
I love somebody else's child.
Love somebody else's child. And if you see
Love yourself.
yeah, and if you see somebody doing something that you don't like and you could bring correction, do
that.
so.
Do it.
Have a wonderful day.